Is Benidorm Spanish area actually cheaper than the touristic one? Let's find out in today's video. Welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. We are in Benidorm once again, and we are in a typical Spanish area. This is the traditional city center. This is where a lot of people live overall a whole year long. It's packed up with different types of businesses. And at the same time, some people might say, hey, is there actually a difference between how much things cost in this area and what we pay as tourists whenever we head to Benidorm town? First of all, this area is not as overpacked with international businesses. There are some dental clinics, there's pharmacies, there's health centers, and then there are typical businesses such as this one. This is a candy shop, by the way, that has been here for decades and decades. Very cheap, not too expensive at all, definitely cheaper than touristic areas in Benidorm. A local supermarket. This is Massima supermarket. We have one in Rincon de Loix, next, not too far away from Benidorm Palace. This is a typical Spanish. This type of supermarket doesn't have inflated prices. Regular one where locals do actually go. Stylists. Also another interesting place. Oh, they have prices here so that we will be able to see how much does it cost, and you can compare it to something that you've seen in the touristic areas of Benidorm. Let's see what the prices are. So, wash and dry, $11.90, cut, $17.90, lifting and tint of lashes, $12, hydrofacial cleaning, $24.90, head spa, $59.90. And these are the usual prices. Honestly, I didn't see that as too expensive. Probably these are more or less the same as in a touristic area. Maybe washing, drying, and styling would be slightly more expensive, around 20 euros, but the rest, more or less exactly the same. Some real estate companies, obviously, this is a residential space. Typical local shops, these are like craft shops, places that buy and sell gold. Some agencies like tourism agencies, even though nowadays I'm quite surprised someone still uses them. Mostly all of us do purchase things online and we don't go physically to the agencies any longer. Typical Spanish bars, the Octopus, the Pirate as this one. These have normal prices, slightly cheaper than the Tapas Alley, slightly cheaper than the Levante Beach, but honestly the quality was not the best last time we've checked it. So this price matches the quality that they actually have. Look at this, 20% today discount for Samsung phones. 20% discount just like that. These types of shops have to compete with giant shops like Vodafone, Movistar, Orange, O2, and all the other types of shops, and MediaMarkt, electronic shops, big ones, that do work very well in the market where people tend to purchase the phones. So obviously they have to put some kind of discounts and offers to attract customers. Nail salons, by the way, are also a thing here. You could get a manicure for less than 20 euros, and for starting from 20 euros, you can get a gel, semi-permanent ones, acrylics. That just depends on the length, on the design that you would want to use. But overall, quite cheap in this space. Plus, we have this incredible place here, which is called Granier. I love this bakery. We love it. We're fans. They have really good cakes, especially if you're celebrating a birthday and you want something like a red velvet cake or a chocolate cake or a carrot cake, like all these here, plus the typical breakfast options and freshly baked bread. Oh, this is an incredible place, both for breakfast and to purchase some things like fresh baked goodies or cakes for your home or during your holidays. Obviously, why not? There's very cheap offers like 3 croissants for €1 or 1.50, breakfast for less than 4 euros. Really good and really affordable. This is why locals love it. permanent, semi-permanent gel like there in front of us. We've seen for the nails $14.90. That's quite cheap. We've seen some more expensive options in the center and by the Levante beach. So yes, it is slightly cheaper, as we can see. But this place absolutely crushes all of it. This is a fancy bar. They have two menus, one for 29 euros, the other one for 49. And the main difference of them is one is on the weekdays and one is on the weekends. So only for it being a weekend, plus one more entree, you will pay 20 euros more per person. This is a really expensive place. Most expensive one probably here in the area, but they're supposed to have like gourmet entrees and really expensive ingredients. Not sure if it's worth it though. Typical Spanish cafeteria where a coffee costs from €1.20. You could probably get even a very small one for just €1 in some places right here. And many locals visit these places. Many locals love them and go even in the morning, even though they have a house nearby, they still visit their local favorite cafeteria. So this is the thing. Here, overall, there are businesses that are oriented for locals. Prices are slightly better, that is true. There's typical local perfume and cosmetic shops where people have been working their whole life and they know all the neighbors already by now. And they stop and have a chat each time they visit these places. Some more nail salons out here, usually in winter especially, they do work without an appointment even. A lot of the times this does happen. In summer, they might tell you have to wait a little bit or come back tomorrow, but in winter, that's not an issue. Some more tint and dry, 20 euros. That's not bad. Menu of Saturday. Let's see, for the price, 15 euros. 3-course menu, 15 euros. We did not see, at least on the tapas alley and about and around, rarely in the touristic area, you will start seeing menus for this price. Usually it's all starting from 17 euros and higher, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is the typical price for a menu right now here in Benidorm, but here you can find menus even for 12, 13, 14, and 15 euros. This is very affordable in nowadays economy. The typical market, this one starts to be already touristic. This is the municipal market of Benidorm. Here is where nearby there's also the Christmas house, the shopping area, typical bars like Gambrinus. These ones do have slightly higher prices, although it's still quite all right. Once we cross the shopping alley, that's where the prices tends to get slightly higher because that's where there's more and more international tourism. A lot of tourists coming from abroad, they do not tend to go to this part of the city to explore simply because they feel like there's nothing else here. But you would be surprised. Just have a walk. Don't be afraid. You'll see so many new businesses. You'll see so many great offers. And overall, you'll just see how locals live. Isn't that part of discovering this city? Typical shops that already start to be slightly more touristic. There's a souvenir shop right here next to us. This area is already where tourists go. There's even a museum right here on the left side. Not sure if you knew, but Benidorm actually does have a museum. It is free of charge. It is quite small, but they do tend to put different types of expositions every now and then. They do change them and shift them every few months. Sometimes it's old Benidorm fashion pictures and like dresses that people used to wear. Sometimes it's old pictures in general of Benidorm, some statues. Sometimes we've had the recycling bubbly sculptures as well. Overall, different types of expositions for different tastes that are available for you here. And now we are already on the shopping alley. We're heading towards the Poniente beach. Here, as you can see, way more touristic. Clothing shops are slightly more expensive. There's souvenirs everywhere. There's ice cream shops where a scoop of ice cream costs around 3 euros. This is a typical price, and it's difficult to find some place cheaper than that. Although we might try, and in some parts of Benidorm it might be true, less touristic ones, less visited ones, or where they need to attract customers. But overall, 3 euros for a scoop of ice cream, sadly, is the price. We remember the days when the scoop was 1 euro or 1 euro 50, even 2 euros, but nowadays it is 3 euros, sadly. If you are in a touristic area, doesn't mean everything is more expensive than in the residential one. No, it's not the case. It is true that some places might have higher prices, but not all of them. For example, on the right side, we have a nice cafeteria that has reasonable pricing for typical Spanish breakfast, for drinks, for snacks. Some of the cafeterias and restaurants right here are slightly more expensive, but these ones mostly cater for fish from the bay, seafood, etc. So obviously, yes, they will have slightly higher pricing for that because the bay is closer. So it's more proximity, it's supposed to be more fresh. Hence, the price is slightly higher. But typical drinks and cocktails usually cost more or less the same thing than what the locals would pay in their typical residential areas. So it might be true for some places, yes, especially tapas, menus, some shops, services, but the others are exactly the same price. Thank you for accompanying us today, and we'll see you this evening with the live video from Benidorm town. Don't miss it.